Down in a hole, feeling so. Is that a kid climbing out? What the Hey everyone, it's Brent the Middleman, your middle-aged middle manager in Middle America, here today with another video about the trippy sci-fi western Outer Range. In this video, I'll be talking about what happened in episodes 5 and 6, and give my theories along the way. So yeah, spoiler alert, duh. Now lay your hands on me and pray for my soul, because here we go. Wayne is pretty excited that he found the void again and got to knock Royal in the head with his rock, but all that excitement mixed with a head injury caused Wayne to stroke out. But before his body hit the floor, we got to see more of his flashback, and we see that Lil Wayne actually met Lil Royal as Royal climbed out of the void. Well, there you go, theory confirmed. Royal traveled through the void as a kid. I wonder if Royal touching Lil Wayne while covered in void goo caused Wayne to lose his memory of it. Or maybe it was just so traumatic that he has been avoiding remembering it. This is followed by a strange sequence of shirtless Royal floating through the void and bumping into zombie Trevor, who tells him that time's a mother effer. I really hope that this isn't literal and we find out that some timey-wimey mother effing has actually happened. I think that this is showing us that the void allows access to the fourth dimension, the time dimension, where everything is kind of happening all at once, like how Dr. Manhattan experiences time, but more on this in a bit. Cecilia finds Autumn in the house searching for her necklace, as she is a severe case of sore loser. Autumn does a good job of driving a wedge between Cece and Royal by saying, "It's hard to really know anyone else, isn't it? No matter how long you've known them. It's hard enough to know yourself." This quote comes back later, and it shows us how frustrating it must be for Autumn to not remember who she was before the age of 9. The main fan theory is that Autumn is actually Perry's daughter Amy, and for some, this sequence confirmed it. I'm leaning this way too, but still not totally convinced. Royal heads to the University of Wyoming to visit the rare earth specialist whose card he found while visiting Wayne. Royal shows her Autumn's pendant, and the scientist is definitely intrigued. While there, Royal sees the logo for the mining company BY9 he saw while in the future. Royal then uses a library and a payphone to find out more about the company, confusing every millennial viewer. It is looking more and more like we are getting one of those time travel stories where the main character causes the future they don't want by trying to stop it. After her confrontation with Autumn, Cece breaks down at her Bible study and gets a nice fat guilt trip from Patty Tillerson about her family killing her son, almost burns down the house, and finds a dead baby bear in the yard. We are definitely seeing how Cecilia could eventually be convinced to turn on Royal to ease her guilty conscience. The dead baby bear is interesting for a couple of reasons. First, Cecilia decides to hide it in the barn instead of burying it, which I believe is showing her fragile mental state. Then we see a stuffed bear at the Tillersons during the flashback that shows us that Billy is actually Wayne's favorite. This is important later when we find out that Wayne left his entire estate to Singin' Billy. And it's even more important even later when we see that Billy connects with Autumn, showing us how her cult could have gotten access to the void in the future after Billy takes over the West Pasture. I theorized when Autumn ran into Billy at Trevor's funeral that Billy would join her cult, so yeah, nailed that one too. During the flashback, Wayne tells Billy that he has dreamed about the dead animals' families wanting vengeance, and Billy asks him if that's what he'd want if someone killed him. Wayne, being Wayne, says, "Yeah." Some major foreshadowing here. Will little Billy be the one to kill Royal? We do see later that he is good with a bow and arrow, which would be ironic because we keep seeing the buffalo with arrows in it. We see Sheriff Joy start to close in on Perry, and it's obvious the guilt is starting to get to him. He tells Cecilia in the kitchen that what's in Royal is in him, and he recognizes that there are parts of him that aren't like Royal. Cece then drops Autumn's line from earlier, telling Perry, "It's hard enough to even know yourself." Perry heads into town to get his mosh on, and he sees Autumn meditating on a bench as she hopes to run into Royal. They get in a little theoretical father-daughter bonding time over redneck heavy metal, as Rhett has a great night moshing with Maria. As Autumn and Perry connect over both feeling defective, we get some more information about Rebecca and her disappearance. We learn that her and Perry had been arguing about moving back to California, when one night she left the house as Perry went to sleep. He woke up and never saw her again. This is when, I believe, Rebecca took a walk out into the west pasture and vanished into the void. Royal gets back from his trip to college and decides to break open Autumn's necklace. The void goo that was inside gets on his hand and gives him a glimpse of the future, or a possible future, where he dies in Cecilia's arms. The twist is that Autumn is there with Cecilia in her time cult outfit, and she seems to be able to see Royal, who is having the vision. This understandably freaks Royal out as we head into the next episode. Is this an actual unavoidable future, or did Royal see one possible future? Right now, I believe that this will happen, that the future cannot be changed. Time is a flat circle. Episode 6 begins with Royal on an ATV finding Autumn waiting at the void. He has Autumn hop on and then goes all fast and furious because we all know that Royal lives his life 1/4 mile at a time. Autumn decides that it would be better to jump off than hang on and really hurts her leg. Royal tells her that he busted up her necklace and that it was just a necklace, hoping that she may just give up and go home. Autumn already knows too much though, and tells Royal that the mineral is connected to the void, and the void is connected to time, and the shin bone is connected to the knee bone. Royal doesn't want to hear it, and seems to think that his family, just like parents, won't understand. But Autumn is convinced that she will do wondrous things and help people. That's not really Royal's thing though, and he abandons her in the woods to go light her tent on fire. I think that Royal is worried that if his family learns about the void, that they will find out where he came from, and he really doesn't want the nickname Void Boy for the rest of his life. Amy and Perry ride to church, and Amy is upset at all the lies and secrets her family has. Is Amy getting frustrated enough to go jump in the void? At church, the preacher embarrasses Sheriff Joy and her partner, but Joy just has to sit there and take it so she can win the election, but her partner is definitely not happy about it. While the abbots take communion, Autumn drags herself through the woods with her broken leg. Cecilia can't handle the guilt any longer and runs out of church holding a sign that says, "My family killed a guy and covered it up." In the woods, Autumn runs into the dead baby bear's mama and smartly plays dead. Mama Bear licks her wounds though and then stares at her as Autumn notices the bear's yellow fur. The bear then telepathically communicates with Autumn saying, "If you build it, he will come. Show him," and walks off. Well, between Royal asking Autumn about the color yellow and her seeing it on the bear, I think the mystery of where her time cult colors come from is solved. Rhett goes to see Maria, and Maria tries to get Rhett to tell the truth about Trevor's murder. She isn't buying it, however, and dumps him for the second time in 2 episodes. Ouch. My wild out there theory for this week is that Royal is Rhett and Maria's kid, but I haven't really worked out the details, just that they had sex recently. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm totally out of my mind. Patty the Baddie and Luke learn from their lawyer that Wayne is leaving everything to baby Billy in his will. Before taking off in her chopper, Patty tells Luke that they will not let Billy take control. Poor Billy, he just wants to sing and kill animals. Then while out hunting horribly CGI'd elk, Billy runs into Autumn, and we learn who the bear was talking about. Autumn tells Billy about a young astronomer who was always looking to the sky, and he would stumble as he walked around. This astronomer then fell into a well. He was found by his mother, who said, "Oh my god, are you okay? I'll get someone to save you from this well." Nah, she actually just calmly said, "How do you expect to know what's in the heavens if you can't see what's at your feet?" That astronomer and I had very different mothers. Autumn shows Billy the void and officially has her first cult member. We jump over to the Frito-loving land manager who is out cruising in his convertible when he hits our favorite buffalo, aka Royal's spirit animal. Royal is looking for Cecilia, and Amy tells him she's out in the barn. We see Cecilia using the dead baby bear's teeth to cut herself, I'm guessing as some sort of penance for all her bad deeds. She should definitely get that looked at. Royal is finally starting to realize that all his secrets are taking a toll on their relationship, and he decides to open up about his feelings. He uses an old story to let her know that he'd be lost without her, but it's starting to feel a bit like too little too late. Billy goes to see stroked out Wayne and tells him that he was right about the west pasture and takes his lucky rock. Autumn discovers her tent is burned and that she is out of lamotrigine. In town, she grabs a room in a motel and gets money from her rich family or someone, and then carves the Abbott brand into her chest. And just like that, a cult leader is born. Autumn calls Perry to come meet her and tells him that Royal is a murderer and has snapped. Yeah, Autumn definitely picked the wrong Abbott to vent to about this, and the whole scene reminded me a lot of my first marriage. We learn that Royal's actions of trying to stop the future from happening have definitely set that future in motion. Time is a flat circle. This conversation with Autumn made Perry realize that what he did could blow back on his whole family, so he decides he'll write a confession and deliver it to the police. Because the police won't care about aiding and abetting as long as he confesses, right? Jesus, Perry. Autumn returns to her motel to find baby Billy in the bathtub because, yeah. And she realizes that her cult is now a party of two. Billy asks Autumn, "Is it death?" asking about the void. And she tells him, "It's time. It's all time. It's just sitting there waiting for us." And she says what we are all realizing, that everything is coming up Millhouse. Autumn. And yeah, she's totally right. Billy is going to have all of the Tillersons' resources, and he now worships Autumn. The land guy is dead, which is probably going to speed up the process of giving the West pasture to the Tillersons somehow, and will leave a lot of stores with a huge backstock of Fritos. The mineral specialist at the college has now seen the rock and what's on the pasture thanks to Royal, and may pay the phone bill for her mining company and get that place rockin' and rollin' again. So yeah, it's all moving Autumn's way. While Autumn and Billy are bathing in their impending victory over time itself, Perry is telling his family that he confessed to Trevor's murder. The family doesn't have the reaction Perry was expecting, however, because, yeah, Jesus, Perry. Perry and Rhett fight, and Amy is hurt by some broken glass. Amy runs outside crying and sees the sheriff coming up the road. And my first thought was, she is gonna run straight into the void and come out as Autumn in the past. But as I say that, I can't really figure out how that will work, so yeah, maybe Autumn isn't Amy. Definitely another couple great episodes, and I'm really invested in this story. I've seen in the comments that some people aren't really feeling it, but not me. I love sci-fi and time travel stories and mysteries and westerns, and Outer Range has it all. I really didn't notice any blatant clues about who Autumn might be, but I'm still leaning towards Royal's mom or sister. Who knows, maybe Amy will be Autumn, but I can't really see how that would work. So, if you're a believer in this theory, please lay it out for me in the comments and tell it to me like I'm Perry. The buffalo and the bears do give me the feeling of history repeating itself somehow, once again that whole time being a circle thing. It was also really cool to see the Void Boy grabbing Wayne's leg, and that has to be when Royal first came to the ranch. I think Royal knows this is how he got there, and he is trying to protect anyone else from going through that. He is so mad at Autumn because she wants to expose that secret to the world, and Royal knows this can only lead to bad things. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and a comment and subscribing so you don't miss any future Outer Range videos or other shows I do here on the channel. I'll be back soon with more videos, and I thank everyone for being patient with this middle-aged middle manager. Once again, thanks everyone for watching. I'm Brent the Middleman, and I'll see you next time.